All right, welcome everybody. We are going to be listening to Tina talk about teaching literacy in a virtual support group setting. I'm super excited for this presentation, last one on track 3. If you guys have questions, make sure you drop them in the Slack group track 3 folder, and we will make sure that we answer those throughout or at the end of the session. Tina, thanks for sharing this with us, and I will let you go ahead and take over.
Thanks, Kim. Hi, everyone. So this is my topic today, teaching literacy in a virtual group setting. All right, let's begin. Okay, my name is Tina Lorenzana, and I am mom to Aya. She's a 24-year-old young adult who is a multimodal communicator, and she uses AAC. And that's her in the picture right there. And I also host online groups for families of AAC users. I also teach online classes called literacy sessions, where we do literacy activities and use AAC. So my story actually begins when the world stood still. So in late February 2020, we attended a rare disease conference in San Diego. And a week after that, everyone got an email that one of the speakers got COVID. And then on March 12, like just 2 weeks after, we were on lockdown. And I'm sure you can all still remember the first few months when everyone basically scrambled to meet the needs of our families, right? So our family was not different. We too went into survival mode and pretty much sprayed everything that came into the house. So it was a strange time, that's for sure. And then everyone started to adapt to the new normal. School was happening online. Therapy was no longer in person. It was one of the favorite things that Aya wanted to do, but she couldn't do it anymore. And then Aya couldn't see or touch her friends. And I was also worried that she would regress in her communication skills, because I was her only communication partner. So I thought that maybe it would be great to be part of a group where AAC users and their families can come together and learn while doing AAC talk. So I also wanted to get better at modeling. So I decided to just start one and invite families. And we've been meeting ever since. So I set up the group. It's called AAC Chat Group. I set up the group in July 2020, and we started meeting twice a week on Zoom. It was really a place and a time for AAC families to come together and just pretty much just hang out and practice AAC talk. I got to meet others who used AAC, and it was just amazing to see how everyone, used their devices, because when I was going to school, I think she was the only one who had a device in her classroom. So, basically she didn't have anyone who talked her talk. And then we also got to know each other better, and many of us have become good friends. And as the host, it sort of fell on me to come up with topics that would engage, the participants. So we have a Facebook group, and it's a mix of families and professionals. And if you'd like to join our group, the link is right there. If you have the PDFs, it's a live link. So click on that. But please answer the membership questions and just mention AAC in the cloud, and I'll get you in. I got your back. So just click on that link and it'll take you directly to the group. So that time, 2 things happened, right? The first one, it was also in 2020 that I came across the book, Comprehensive Literacy for All, by Karen Erickson and David Koppenhaver. And I've been following Karen before that, and I was just so thrilled that there was now a guide. And I love the first chapter's title, and it's All Children Can Learn to Read and Write. And all means all, right? Doesn't mean 90%, it just means all. Even if a student has significant disabilities. So I started reading the book, and even now I am still learning so much from it. And I highly recommend, if you don't have the book yet, get the book. It's my Bible for literacy. And also join the Facebook group, Comprehensive Literacy for All Book Study. So you'll get a lot of information there from everyone. So lots of good stuff there. And you know, my book actually has so many, it's really colorful with so many highlights. So this is one that I wanted to share here. And it says here, students with significant disabilities must be engaged in exploring and using reading and writing in real-world contexts from the beginning. They must have opportunities to observe how others integrate reading and writing into their daily lives. Students must be given opportunities to make lists, write invitations and thank you notes, muddle around in texts that represent their experiences and interests, and interact with others who are also learning. I love that. And here's what's needed, also in the Comprehensive Literacy for All book. Here's what's needed to create a rich literacy learning environment for students like Aya. So I guess this is like a criteria, right, that we can take into consideration. So we need knowledgeable others. It takes a village, it takes a team. It needs to be a means of communication and interaction. Does the student have a robust AAC system? There needs to be repetition with variety. Cognitive engagement. There needs to be cognitive clarity. Students understand the reason for the activities. I think that's so important. There has to be personal connection to the curriculum. Encouragement of risk-taking. Of course, comprehensive instruction. And there's significant time allocation. And of course, high expectations. And the second thing that happened, which was fabulous, was when I learned about Readtopia. So Readtopia curriculum is an online special education curriculum. It teaches phonics and early reading to students in elementary, middle, and high school with complex learning barriers. So the people behind the Readtopia curriculum are actually the people behind the book, Comprehensive Literacy for All. It has a library of, I wrote there 28, but I was actually looking at it yesterday, and I believe they already have 32 thematic units. And if you see, these are all their units. So you see, like this one, Dr. Dolittle, Birds, Mammals, and Reptiles is upper elementary. And if you go to demo.readtopia, I think if you click on the link, it'll send you there. I'm not sure if this has a link here. But you can actually sample chapters for free. They have an Anne of Green Gables. They have Swiss Family Robinson. We are actually currently doing mummies. Yeah, the King Tut tomb. So very interesting. And we're also learning about Egypt. So it has, what I love about Readtopia is it has multiple levels of graphic novels and informational text. So they have emergent, they have transitional, they got conventional. So you can actually choose the level of the novel that's appropriate for your students' reading skill. I'm going to show you a sample of that in a bit. So it covers English, language arts, science, life skills, social studies, and math. And you'll get classroom support and a lot of assessment tools. So definitely look into Retopia. So I wanted our hangouts to not just be a place where we learn or see friends and use AAC. I wanted families to be excited, just like me, about the prospect of our children being able to read and write. Because, to be honest, I thought that my daughter learning to use her AAC was enough. I thought that becoming proficient at her AAC made her literate. I was wrong. David Copenhaver, one of the authors of the Comprehensive for Literacy book, said, unfortunately, our field has often treated emergent literacy as an end goal rather than a starting place, which is, it's sad, but it's also a challenge. So I never thought that Aya would be able to read and write because of her disability. But I was wrong. And it was one of the discoveries that have made the pandemic a blessing in disguise for us. After learning and applying strategies with Aya, I was shocked that she could actually learn to read. She could read words. They had meaning for her. And she could use her talker to make a book. And I wanted other families to dive into the literacy journey with us. And that's how our literacy sessions began. We base our sessions on themes like visiting different countries. Like currently we're learning about Egypt, events or games. And I also build in Retopia into our sessions. If you look at this picture here, we were actually like this one where this is Cody, he's my man. So we're making actually a craft because we were learning about Australia and we're learning about the didgeridoo. I hope I pronounced it right, didgeridoo. It's like a musical instrument indigenous to Australia. So we made that too, and it was so fun. And so as you see, most of the participants are preteens to young adults, and there are also younger kids who join. And all of them have access to robust AAC systems. Some of them also sign or vocalize, and that works too. And this is what happens in our literacy session. So we do only an hour, which is really not enough. If you read the Comprehensive for Literacy book, they recommend at least 2 hours of literacy. But then I really only have like an hour that I can work, as far as the literacy sessions. But so we try to do as much as we can when we meet. So we do an icebreaker where we catch up, we play music, we do a cheer board. So I'm going to kind of show you how we do that. Letter of the day, we do making and sorting words. We do a word wall, watch videos. Sometimes we do vocabulary, we read a book. The reading in the book and the writing always there. And then sometimes we also do activities like cooking and crafts. So icebreaker, right? So this is where participants can greet others, maybe share about what they did over the weekend, what's the weather like where they are, or anything really that they want to talk about. And then I also play music. So I have a playlist and I play our favorites, which gets everyone moving, bouncing, or just listening. And sometimes they come up with their own suggestions too. And the music, just gives us all energy. It wakes everyone up. That includes me. And when we start, I have it on Jamboard. I created a schedule on Jamboard. And just having a class schedule and showing it before we begin, it helps the participants, the students know that, this is what's coming up. And you can see when I share the schedule, they really look at it. They like read and like see what's going on, what's happening. And so every time we're done with an activity too, I go back to the schedule and let them know, okay, this one is done. Like, let's say letters, that's done. Phonics done. Okay, now we're going to read, right? So they know what's going to happen. They know what's done, and they know what's up, what's next. Okay, so I'll be sharing some of the principles that's in the Comprehensive Literacy for All book, just so, kind of to tie it in. So this is alphabet knowledge. So alphabet knowledge, 1 letter a day instead of a letter a week. So that's explicit alphabet instruction. Ideally 10 minutes each day. And the 6 cycles, this is where, this is the recommendation where you go through the alphabet, not just alphabetical order, but also in different ways. So the first would be letters that appear frequently in the names of students, familiar people. So I kind of see like, okay, what are the names of the students in the class, and then I base that on the starting letters, and that's how we start. So if we're on this cycle, then of course there's alphabetic order, and then there's also you do the cycle where you start with the letters that have sounds in the letter name, example B, P, F, M, and after you're done with that, then the sounds of letters that's not in their letter name. So example H, Q, W, Y, right? And then another cycle would be letters that appear less frequently to most frequently, order in which typically developing children learn to say sounds, and then also based on visual features. So you'll find all of these in the book, in the Comprehensive Literacy for All book. And they recommend also to embed alphabet instructions. So how do you do that? You use alphabet books, puzzles and games, student names, environmental print, using the computer, showing the computer, keyboard use, apps too. I love the word wizard. That's one of my favorites. And then also embedding phonological awareness. So like reading nursery rhymes, raps, poetry, and shared reading. All right, so this is our cheerboard. So in our sessions, we cheer. And I actually got this tip from Caroline Musselwhite. She has her own unique cheer. And I kind of just did a simple one for our class. So they see their names, right? And then they start to recognize their letters and sounds, and their own name and their friend's name. So I asked them to, okay, let's find Jake's name. We're going to find Jake's name. And then everyone starts to look for Jake's name, and then they're going to point it, right? So point, we're going to point at Jake's name. And then when we find Jake's name, we're all going to clap for Jake because we're cheering for Jake, right? So Jake. And then we're going to stretch it, right? So that's why there's a figure there stretching. Stretch, Jake, right? And then I encourage the student or participant to say something. You can use your talker, or they can just wave, or however they want to, say that, hey, I'm here. And Jake always likes saying, Jake, right? So they can use their voices too. So however they want it. And so we go through all that, whoever's in the class during that time. And it's just so fun. It's just, it's just a great way to, cheer for each other and support each other. Like, hey, these are my friends, right? And then in our sessions, of course, we learn letters. So I usually pull up the board. So we do it in Zoom. Pull up the whiteboard, and I kind of show the capital letter, and then we do the small letter, and then I kind of let them know, okay, this is like we're doing the letter S, so this is the letter S, capital S. This is the small s. We say it with our mouths, right? S. We can say it also in our heads because some of them can't really verbalize it. So we can say it in our heads, right? Because we have voice in our head. So S. And then, another way, and I tell them another way of saying the name of the letter is, guys, how about we go to our keyboard? Yeah, and we're going to find our letter S here. Now I'm looking at my keyboard. I'm going to show my keyboard, and I'm finding S right here. Ooh, there's my S. S. Yeah, I found my S. Did you find your S? Right, so everyone goes into their, gets to familiarize the keyboard, whether in their talker or however they want to do it. And then after that, we talk about the sound, like, okay, how does S, if there's an S in a word, how would that sound? Oh, we hear it as S, right? Okay, so we can say that with our mouths, we can say that in our heads. Okay, now we know the sound of the letter S. You guys, how about we find some words that have the letter S? Okay, and then so everyone goes into their talker or find something at home and just look for words that have the letter of the day, whether it's the starting letter or whether it's in the middle or in the end, right? So it's just so fun when everyone starts to look and share, and then they use their talker. And then once we have the board full, and I let them know, okay, we're gonna, again, this is an idea I got from Caroline too. So I tell them, we're gonna read all the words here. You can read it in your heads, and we're gonna clap for one word, right? So we know that it's one word. So we're gonna go through all the words and we're gonna clap scooter, sun, sing, right? And then we'll go back. Let's go back again. How about we clap one clap per syllable? Maybe some words have more syllables, some have shorter. And then we do the same thing, right? Scooter, sun, sing, Sylvie. So everyone kind of gets an idea. Okay, some words are shorter, some words are longer. Okay. Right, in our sessions, we make words and we sort them. So I find that this activity is best to do with their partners. And I usually make a Jamboard that I share with the parents, and then they can do it with their student, with their kids, right? It's a Retopia resource, and it's based on Dr. Patricia Cunningham's work. And this is one of the activities that I was actually amazed that Aya understood and that she could do it. She learned, in the beginning, she was learning. She was like, okay, what is this? But then eventually, as she kept doing it, she understood, oh, okay, I'm going to sort this, because like this is a sorting thing. So you're going to sort it by the starting letter. And then as we did it, as we kept doing it, she understood that, okay, this starts with this one starts with B. So this is different, right? And this one is when we put the letters together and we make words. And then in our sessions, we also use word walls. So like there's 5, choices here. All right, there are cookies. Okay, which one should we put in here? So it's a trial, everyone guesses, and it's always fun to make guesses because that's how we learn, right? So yeah, we do word walls too. All right, we're gonna go to reading. So shared reading, that's the interaction that occurs between an adult and student as they read a book together, right? It's like, how are you connecting with your student as you read the book? In one of the methods, and I'm sure many of you know this, is the CAR method, where, you read it and then you comment and then you wait, right? And I think the waiting is the hardest part You gotta wait for at least maybe 10 seconds, at least 10 seconds. And then A would be ask for participation and then wait again. And then R would be respond by adding more. So I'm just going to show you, I'm going to click on this one. So it's good to practice actually, because that's how we learn, right? We can practice on our own. Maybe we can practice with someone else at home. So like this one, the title, I Like Cats by Jane Farrell. Right? And so we're going to read, right? I like cats. And what would be a good comment here? C is for comment, right? I mean, I could go to my describing folder and I would say,
very cute.
Very cute. And I would wait. And then A would be ask, right? Ask for participation. So how would I do that? I'm like, isn't the cat
Is it
cute?
cute?
Is it cute? Right? And then maybe they would answer, and they would answer something else. And that's fine. And we can always relate back to what they were saying, you know. And maybe someone would say, dog. I don't know, maybe that cat is a dog friend. Yeah, right? So that's how we learn. We just need to practice. And believe me, you know, I practice by myself. And again, it's the waiting that's hard. Okay, let's see. Let's go here. And then there's another method called crowd method. So the crowds, the C would be completion. So like, ooh, I like white. What did it say here? I like white. And then we're going to wait for them to make a comment. Right? Whether it's cats, whether it's something else. Maybe it's something else, right? And then R would be recall. What color were the cats again? They were white. Oh, yeah. And then O would be open-ended. I wonder where the cats live. Right? W would be the you know, what, where, when. So what color do you like? And then D, distancing. That looks like a cat. Do you have a cat? Right? So, and then so that was the car method previously, and this one's the crowd. So you can put the crowd in the car, right? So when you use the crowd prompts, that's when you use it during the ask step of the car. But it's recommended that you use the crowd method only when the students are successfully engaging in shared reading. And this one is actually a method by Jane Farrell. It's called AIR. So AIR, A would be attention getter to draw attention to the book. Example, you say, wow, look at this, right? Using speech and AAC. And then I would be invite participation with a second comment or with a simple yes or no question. And then R would be response. And if possible, attribute meaning to the individual's body language, facial expression, vocalizations. You know, let them know what you're attributing meaning to. If it isn't possible to attribute meaning, model or respond yourself. And don't forget to use AAC system. Yeah. And there's also what we call interactive read alouds. So the reading aloud gives students access to vocabulary that they might otherwise never encounter. It helps with their vocabulary development, and it teaches students that, you know what, words actually have multiple meanings. Print referencing, so pointing out the letter of the day, hey, that's our letter of the day, it's right there. I see the word sun. Right? S starts the word sun. Punctuations, capitalization, talk about what's in the picture images, point out details, and invite students to share, you know, the experience related to the story. All right, so we read many books from many sources. And one is from Utopia, and like I mentioned, they have graphic novels and informational text in emergent, transitional, and conventional levels. So as you can see, this one is the emergent, and it's shorter, maybe 2-3 lines, right? Transitional, longer lines, and even more so with the conventional. And then, of course, there's Tar Heel Reader. So maybe many of you know about Tar Heel Reader. So it's just a great source of books, especially topics that appeal to older students. So we go there a lot too. And there's also share.tarheelreader.org. So it's a variant of Tar Heel Reader. The difference is, so if we go here, I'm gonna click on here, and so like this one, this is I See Bugs, right? And we can say, and you see here, this at the top. So the one who made this actually put a comment there already that you can use. Hey, let's look at the book, right? I see a bug. Look, it's a bug. Yeah. So that's Tar Heel Shared Reader. That's another source that you can use for reading materials. And then we got Get Epic. So Get Epic has over 40,000 books, audiobooks, videos, quizzes, and it's free for educators. I love Get Epic. And there's also Kindle Unlimited. If you have Kindle Unlimited, if you like read books, you can actually find a lot of books that are age appropriate for our students. And we also make and read our own books. So like this is a book we wrote about kindness, right? So in our sessions, we read books with text that are age appropriate and meets their reading levels, books from online platforms, our own books, and then we use AAC to share comments, ideas, and thoughts. I'm going to go a little quicker because I think I'm going to run out of time. So in our sessions, we also expand vocabulary. Like, this one, I think we were we were reading the book Black Beauty, and we were learning that, horses are actually in stalls. But you guys, do you know what stall also means? It also means a lot of things, right? And some of them thought about, ice cream, right? Hey, ice cream stalls. There are ice cream stalls, right? Shapes have different shapes. Stalls will come in different shapes, right? The word grooming. Grooming is just like, it's not just about cleaning the coat of an animal. It's brushing your teeth, shaving, trim nails. Right? And then we also work on comprehension. So we were learning about deserts. So we first talked about, what do I know about desert? What do you guys know about deserts? Oh, it's hot. I live there. So actually someone lives in Arizona desert. Egypt. Yes, Egypt's desert, right? And then someone said Valentine party. I was like, well, what a Valentine party? Because she was thinking about desserts. So they kind of sound the same, right? And then we talked about, well, what do you want to know about deserts? And are there caves? Are there deserts in the beach? Things like that. And then we read and we watch a video and then we go back. So what did I learn about deserts? And then we write it down and then we read it all again. So writing in the book says there are two prerequisites to emergent writing. There needs to be something to write with and something to write on. You need to get students writing daily, have them communicate about their interests to real and valued audience. I think that's so important, right? Provide environments and experiences that sustain interest in writing, and observe and interpret student writing to determine what might be taught or demonstrated. We got to celebrate all student writing. All students need to be praised for their efforts, right? And when they are able to, have expressive communication skills, we need to ask them to read aloud what they write. So I want to share a video with you. Some of you have seen this in the chat group. I shared it. I'm going to share this with you. Let's watch this.
A certificate for Brendan finishing swimming lessons.
I love it so much, buddy.
This is certificate. This is Brendan in the water. This is Brady swimming underwater. This is pool certificate. And this says Brendan. And this says love Brady.
Oh, wow, I love it, buddy. I love it. You're very sweet. Good job making something for your brother.
And of course, the dancer is like, okay, breathe. All right, we do predictable chart writing too. So predictable chart writing, we write the chart. So like, where would you like to go? So this one is, where would you like to go? We start the sentence. I want to go, and then they're going to finish it, right? So each one gives their sentence. And then every time you write a sentence, a line. So I want to go walk, and then Joshua. And then I want to go to the restaurant, Jake. And then after that, we go back and read again Joshua's. And then go back to Jake, and then go back to Jack, and then back again to Joshua's. So we kind of go back. And then I try to sometimes put different colors for each of the sentences, for each of the lines. And then so that's how we reread the chart. And then we work with sentence strips. So each one makes their own sentence and they make a strip. We usually do this with their partners. And so we cut them and break out the sentence and try to form it back again. And then be the sentence. To be honest, I haven't really done this in our class, but I kind of like put it all together because we're just running out of time in our classes. And then of course we make and publish a book. So that's predictable chart writing. And then the C's of interactive writing. So C is great, really, to engage participants. Writing needs to be interactive. And students are, they're part of the creative process. They don't just write or come up with words. And then collaborate. Writing it's a joint effort. Partners and teachers can teach students that, you can review your work and change it if needed. And also there are opportunities to support others. Sometimes I break the group into smaller groups so they can help each other in a writing activity. And you see that later in the poems that they made. And many of the students like to actually see the creating process. So for example, they can choose the pictures or the graphics that will go with their writing. You take the cue from the student, follow their lead. Maybe that's not the topic they're interested right now. Maybe it's something else. Compose. Writing teaches students how words work in the written format. It helps them see that writing can be a means to communicate. And then connect. This is our job. We need to relationally connect with our students so that they know they're safe with us. They need to know they're understood. And celebrate. We celebrate our students by publishing and sharing their works with family and friends, and reviewing and enjoying the past writing projects. It gives them a sense of pride in their work. Writing tools. So writing tools, and I'm thinking as far as, how do I help them? I need something that's easy to use, free or budget friendly. I want to make it look gorgeous with fun graphics, images, tools, and it's great for collaboration. So one of the things that I use is Canva. So it's one of my favorite. Canva is a free to use online graphic design tool. You can get it for free. You can also upgrade to a pro version for $12.99, I think, which allows you to use more images. So you can use it to create anything that needs designing. It's easy to use, very intuitive. And if you didn't get to see Lauren Ender's presentation earlier today, go back and watch it. It's all about Canva. Right? She's going to show all things Canva. And like this one, we were learning about mummies, how to make mummies. It's lots of things that actually are needed. So we made a list, and I just kind of put it all together, and they choose their, sometimes they choose the pictures that go along with it. And I use Book Creator. So Book Creator is actually, it creates books. It's also online. And I think there's a discount for educators, but there's actually a free, you can actually start for free, and you can have 40 free books that you can make. So in one library, one or two libraries, right? So yeah, it's amazing. So we make a lot of books on Book Creator. I'm going to show you something really cool about Book Creator. I'm rushing to it. We use Jamboard too. Jamboard's free, guys. So Google Jamboard. So we do a lot of stuff in, we write a lot of things in our sessions. And then we have, we use this method, anchor, read, apply. So anchor, what is the purpose of the activity? Let's activate the background knowledge. What does the student know about this? Share experiences, watch videos. Videos are so really highly, very motivating. Read, shared reading. And then we apply. What do we remember about this? How about we write about it? So here's an example of book that we did. We learned about the Great Barrier Reef. That's the purpose, right? Your anchor. Write about what you would see. Okay, we're going to learn about it. Let's write about what you would see if you went diving, right? And then I kind of give them a key. Okay, we're going to put on our goggles. We're going to be diving. Are you ready? And then, before that, we watch a video of YouTube, and this one, that's my cue. And we went to Google Earth. Google Earth is really cool. You want to use that, and let's just say we're pretending we're going to dive into the Great Barrier Reef, and I hope this one works. Oh, wow, look at that. There's a turtle. What? Whoa, lots of fish, right? So much to comment on, so much to write about. And what's that? What's that blue thing right there? Ooh, there's a blue thing right there. Yeah, it's a starfish. Wow, right? So lots of things to see. And then we write. And here's an example of the book we wrote. And I just kind of photoshopped their pictures on, people who were snorkeling or diving. And it's just so fun to see that, right? Everyone just loved it. And, like Alyssa says, in the Great Barrier Reef, I see a shark and starfish. Just add the shark and the starfish there. Okay? So just making it really fun and engaging for them. And here's another book example. We were learning about dog sledding. We watched a video, we read a book, and then we wrote, like, dog sledding is, and then how many dogs do you think are there? What can you tell them? Because we were learning about dog sledding commands. So what should you tell them? So everyone had their own opinions. And I love Cody's opinion. I see butts. It's cold. There are 3 dogs. I can tell them to go. And here's another book example. And this one, I showed them just 4 pictures. So they had 4 choices of pictures. And I have them choose 1 picture and then just write about it. Whatever you want to say, right? So Kate wrote this one. They're happy. Statue's big. Liam chose this. Jack chose this. And Aya chose this. And they just wrote whatever they wanted to write using their talker. So in our sessions, we wrote books. We write books. And looking at this one, you have any idea what, maybe you can guess what the theme was, right? So the book we were reading was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, right? And here's an example, book example using Book Creator. And I just want to show this to you real quick. So we were learning about, we were just talking about my thoughts and my words. Like, we have our thoughts and our words. What do you want to share about it? And so I'm going to click this.
My thoughts, my words. I talk with my AAC talker. Liam.
by AAC Talker.
Celebrate graduation. Coding.
What do you think? Think fun, this is fun, this is fun, this is fun thing. Peace, sleepover, holidays, sleepover, holiday, celebration, graduation, show, festival, festival.
So that's amazing about Book Creator, you guys. Oh, you got to try it. So you can record it. You can put anything you want. You can use GIFs, images, lots of things to do in Book Creator. And then in our sessions, we write poems. So as you see here, there's like 3 names. So I would break them into groups and they would help each other make poems, right? It's just helping each other. It's such a great way to, encourage friendship and relationships. And then we write lists. So this one was a beach theme kind of day. We had our own mocktails, right? We made our own mocktails. So no one got drunk, but everyone was sugar high, got sugar high. And we were talking about, okay, what should we bring to the beach? Yeah, if we're going to go to the beach, and we made a list. And we explore the world, in our sessions. So exploring and learning about different countries, it helps expand our learners' minds. And I got this idea from Caroline Musselwhite. She has some books on countries and lesson ideas in her Pay Teacher store. And I included her store link at the end of my slides. So we learn about geography, places to see, animals, the people who live there, the food, music they play, the culture. So much stuff to learn when we explore. And in our sessions, we write food reviews. Yep, we also do that. We also write postcards. After, again, learning about a country, okay, how about we write a postcard? What do you guys want to say? Who do you want to write it to? And then I wanted to write it to her Mamita, her grandma. And she said, "Dear Mamita, South Africa is what?" So she wanted to write about South Africa. Noisy. Okay, what's there? There are strong animals like lion, tiger. And when do you want to go? Let's go there tomorrow. Regards. And in our sessions, we write invitations and so much more. So these were like party invitations. So we use AAC to comment, share ideas and thoughts, vote to choose a topic, learn letters, share experiences, greet others, and so much more. And I just wanted to share with you some parents' feedback because you'll get an idea what's important for them. Right? So Kate Hildy here says, Kate likes the structure of the class. A similar routine in each class is great for her. Content is interesting, age appropriate, respectful, right? And we love how you presume competence in all of your students. Kate likes the low pressure. She participates when she feels comfortable. Seeing the same students each week is a bonus. And having access to peers that use an AAC to communicate is huge. And it motivates Kate to get better in her AAC. And then Claire, mom to Cody, said that, that was she happened upon us during COVID time. And it's so much more motivating for Cody to talk, read, learn, and party with peers. They learn about age-appropriate topics. He will type out messages, long messages. And she says that I see all the things that are in his head coming out, all the things he wants to do, places to go to, and things to eat. Right? He definitely sees all of his favorite things, and now we're learning to create sentences. He's learning how to converse. So many amazing things, right? I'm so proud of him. And then this one is from Janice. She's mom to Ian. And then Janice says that, they really love the classes. He gets very excited. There's a variety of topics. Some are very interesting to him, others not so much. But whatever the topic, there's always something to interest him since classes cover such a variety of things related to each topic. And classes are inclusive. Students are allowed to participate on their level. Ian loves seeing all the other students and me. He loves that he is listened to and appreciate that. He may not always be on topic, but this class has helped him become a more prolific, varied, willing, and enthusiastic communicator. It has given me opportunities to model words for him that I never would have come up with reasons to model in the past. And I don't want people to think my AAC user isn't ready for a literature class. I'd be tempted to say that too, but my son is ready for this literacy class. So what I'm learning during this, in my journey, is to honor all forms of communication, attribute meaning to all communication, use age-appropriate materials, right? Respect, go with the flow. Routine is good. Let students know if there are changes. Follow their lead by using their learning style. Encourage risk. Focus on the learning, not the mistakes. Keep it relaxed and calm. Make it fun. Pursue potential. Expect great things. And I know when we know better, we're able to do better. And I wanted to give you guys this quote: all children can learn to read and write, a comprehensive book. And then Karen said, you can't do AAC without literacy. And these are my references. You'll find that in your slides, and just click on them, you go directly to the link. And thank you so much for being here and for listening live, watching live, or watching on replay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tina. I really appreciate it. Anybody have any quick questions before we hop on or hop off?
Sure.
I don't see any in the chat at this point, so I guess we will let you go. We really appreciate you sharing your experiences, and everything you've learned has been really helpful.
Sure. Thank you so much for inviting me to do this. I just love to share about our journey. Thank you, Kim. All right. Bye.